Welcome, everyone. We're going to discuss today something very, very important about reward, schar. What am I telling you about like this? I'd like to read you a Gemara. Derash Rab Simlai, mipnei ma nitaveh Moshe Rabbeinu leknei Israel. Why did Moshe want to go to Israel? What's the reason? Kedash, what's the reason? Before you answer, it says, you want to eat the fruits over there? Huh? So what's the reason? All is boa, what's the reason? Ela, listen to this. Amar Moshe, harbe mitzvot nitzah Yisrael, v'em kamim alav Yisrael. You can only do it in Israel, the mitzvot. Ekanes ani la'aretz, kedesh kaimu kulan ayadi, amar lo kadosh baruch hu. Listen to what Hashem answers Moshe after he says that. Klum ata mevakesh ela lekabel schar. Why do you want to go? In order to get reward. It's like you did it. Think about it. Moshe Rabbeinu Hashem is telling Moshe, I know you want to go to Israel. Because there's certain mitzvot that you can't mekayem until you go to Israel. And I know why you want to go do those mitzvot in Israel. Because you want to get reward. So he says, don't worry about it. I'll give you the reward as if you did it. Don't worry about it. I'll give you reward as if you did it. By the way, you should just know this in general, in a rule. I heard this from a Adam Gadol. I believe it was from a Victor Miller even. Now let's say, for example, a person, right? Let's say, for example, he's not in that position. Giving as an example, he's not in the position of giving tzedakah. Now somebody comes over to you and asks you for tzedakah, and you physically can't give him because you don't have. Let's say, so he says, at least think in your mind, I wish I can give him. Like that, Hashem is proud of you. Why? At least you want to do the mitzvah. At least I really want to give you. In your mind, okay, sorry, whatever it is, I really want to give you. I wish I could give you millions of dollars, but I'm sorry. At least think in your mind that you want to do. And even if nobody asks, think in your mind, oh wow, if I had millions of dollars, I would support yeshivot, I would support the shuls, I'll support everything, the Hesed organization. Do it in your mind. Even then, it's a big item. This is what I heard from Victor Miller. Dream about doing mitzvot. Dream about doing great things. This is what it says. So therefore, we have a question. What's the question? This is what the Parashat says. Parashat asks, how is it that we're talking about Moshe Rabbeinu wanting schar? Doesn't it say in the Mishnah, Pirkei Avot, Al tiyu kavadim hameshamishim et harav al menat lekabel pras? Don't be like the ones that are going after for what? To do schar, to get pras. So what's going on over here? You get a question? It's not a question. What's the highest level of serving Hashem? Completely what? You would say completely what? L'shem shamayim, to get nothing in return, which is true. But we have a problem over here. Because now it's saying that Moshe Rabbeinu was on the highest level of serving Hashem, and yet Hashem is saying, I know why you want it, because you want to get the schar. How do we justify that? How do we justify that? You had a question? Oh no. Solid? Rabbi, what do you think? Solid question, no? So I'll give you the answer. There was somebody in my car this week. Peretz Sasson. You know Peretz? He was in my car this week. I was giving him a ride. And then I asked him this question. This is Rabbi, good question. It says, again, in one hand it says, do the mitzvot l'shem shamayim for nothing in return. And then another time it's saying over here now, it's saying Moshe Rabbeinu is doing it. Well, at the end of the day, he wants the schar. So what's going on? It doesn't sound like it's for sure l'shem shamayim, but we have to figure out how. Because Moshe was on the highest level. So how is it l'shem shamayim if he wants schar for it? And the answer is like this. First of all, I want to tell you, always don't let it fool you. You'll gain more when you're doing it for schar as well. Meaning you'll do more, you'll accomplish more. Now what I mean is like this. What I want to try to say is like this. Let's say for example, you let's say for example, I give you a ride. I give you a ride in my car. Right? I'm doing you a favor, right? Right? So technically speaking, I'm doing you a favor. You're getting a ride in my car. But I love you so much because you're the best guy ever. So not only, you need a ride there, I'll give you a ride there. But now I say, by the way, here's $100. Please, today, when you're going, buy yourself a lunch. Rabbi, it's enough that you took me, gave me a ride. Now you want to, but yes. What do you say? No, I don't want to. No, you're not understanding. I feel good when I give you. So now, should you take the money or no? Think about it. Imagine I give you a ride home, and I say, oh, by the way, did you have dinner yet? No. Here's $100. Rabbi, not only you take me home, you also going to give me money? He says, yeah. Why? Because I love to give. I want to give. So why is Moshe Rabbeinu want reward? The only reason why he wants reward because Hashem wants to give him the reward. So now when I'm doing it for the reward. You're doing it for the reward? Great. You're doing an amazing thing. But what do you mean? How are you doing it for reward? It's not Hashem Shemaim. No, it is the Hashem Shemaim. Why? Because I know Hashem wants me to do it for the reward so he can give me the reward. So now I'm going to read you the Lashon of Rav Shmuel Birnbaum. Listen to this. Nimtza Yesod Gadol. Listen to the exact words. B'shat, he writes like this. B'shat asiyat mitzvah. When you're doing the mitzvah, tzarich lasot al menat shelo lekabel schar. I'm doing it because I love Hashem. That's it. That's why I'm doing it. Nothing ulterior motives. Shetei mitzvah kul Hashem shamayim. Good. Aval mikevan sherotzon Hashem latet schar. But since Hashem wants to give you reward, tzarich adam lekayem haTorah mitzvot al yedei zeh yitkayem retzono yitbarach sheyikabel schar lenetzach netzachim. Hashem wants you to give reward forever and ever. So at the time you're right, Hashem, I don't want the reward. But what? But you want me to get the reward, so I'm doing it for the reward, so I can fill your will by you giving me. It's amazing Kiddush. It's amazing Kiddush. And you have the same thing, by the way, where by Parashat Lech Lecha, by Abraham. It says over there, the Pasuk says, Al tira Abraham, Anochi magen lecha secha bemeod. Your reward is great. And Rashi says, Shaya Abraham yarei. Abraham was worried. Shema kibalti schar akol tzedkotai ba'olam hazeh. Maybe I got my reward in this world. Biglal shenitzal b'mechati, because I got saved from the malachim. So therefore maybe I got my schar reward. So now we have a question. You think Abraham is worried? What is Abraham saying? Abraham, what are you worried about? Oh, I'm worried that maybe I got my reward in this world. Alright? What do you mean? You're in for the reward? No. Abraham's not in for the reward, but he knows that Hashem wants to pay him the whole reward in the next world, in the full. And therefore he's worried, oh my goodness, maybe I don't fulfill the Ratzon of Hashem because I'm put in a situation where my reward might be in the Ba'olam Hazeh. You understand? That's what he was worried about. He was worried about the Ratzon HaBoreh. Hashem, I know you want to pay me my reward only in Olam Haba, the Gan Eden. Of course, by the way, you should just know that according to the Rambam, you have to understand what's going on over here. You need to be healthy. You need to have parnasah. And how do you have that? If you do what Hashem wants you to do, so He's going to give you everything. You're going to tell me, wait, Rabbi, I'm getting a reward. It's not true. You're not getting a reward over here because that's part of the plan. I'll give you an example. If you're part of business, right? What do they do? They ask you, oh, by the way, you have health insurance? No. Okay, fine. You're on our health insurance. Oh, you have this insurance? No. You have a house? No. Okay, I'm gonna get you a house. Oh, where do you live? You need a car service? I'll get you a car service. I had a relative of mine. He was working for a very prestigious company. I remember at the time he was rolling in anything he wanted. I mean to say he needed a ride, like a limo, right away in 2 seconds. Limo. I was like, wow, how do you get this? He says the company's expense. Anything I need, the company's expense. I want a limo, they're sending me a limo. I want this, I want to go out for dinner, it's on the company expense. I want this, company expense. I want a brand new suit to look good when I go to the buyer. He goes to the store, buys a $2,000 suit on the company's card. And of course the company knows this. The company's totally fine with it. It's a very, very prestigious company. Why? Because he's doing it what? He's doing it because he needs it in order what? In order to serve the company. You need things in order to serve Hashem. Hashem, as long as you're serving Hashem, Hashem is giving you everything that you need in this world. Anything and everything that you need. So it's not taking away. If you get things in this world, it's not taking away unless you run after the kavod. Kavod, I told you, if Sadiq Ayon says, kavod takes away from Olam Hazeh, from Olam Haba. But we're not going that. That's not the subject right now. But things that you need, don't worry. It's not going to take away that you need it. Without it, you can't serve Hashem. So it's not taken away. So now we're learning a whole new chidush. So now, should you go ahead and do the mitzvah for the reward? I heard from Rav Miller, just do it. Just do it. Let it pump you up. So I had a nephew this week, and I told him, we're going to do this, that. And I told him to do me a favor. And what was the favor? It was I had an extra car, and I parked it in his house before Shabbat. I told him, can you bring it back to the thing? I'll take you back home. It was like a whole thing. He says, Uncle Yosef, but it's so late. And it was like 10 o'clock at night. So he's like, it's 9, 10 o'clock, I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. I said, you're not doing it for me. You're doing it for my it was for my mother. You're doing it for grandma. You're doing it for my mother. You're doing it for your grandma. And I was convincing him. I was like, you know how much schar you'll get when you're tired and you do it anyway? You know how much reward you get? And if you do it b'simcha, says if you do it b'simcha, it's 1,000 times more reward. So Hashem wants you to do it b'simcha. He tells me, I'm not into that spiel. He tells me, I'm not into that spiel. I say, you're not selling me. I don't do things for the reward. I say, you're 100% wrong. Because Hashem wants to give you reward. So that's on Hashem. In the beginning, you're right, Hashem, you give me reward, you don't give me reward, I'm going to do it anyway. But I know you want me to get reward, so I'll do it so I can help the Shamayim give me reward because I did it. It's like a Catch-22 type of thing, you understand? And that's why part of serving at Kadosh Baruch Hu, you have to understand something. Again, there's the highest level completely, the Shem Shamayim, and I don't need anything in return. But you have to understand, don't get fooled with that. Don't get fooled. We need to say, what? Of course, you don't want anything from Hashem. You just want to do Lishma. But sometimes we need a motivation. A lot of times we need a motivation. Yes, the highest level, nothing in return. But the motivation is what? The motivation is, yes, I'm going to do it. And the reward that you're going to get, whatever pleasure you can think of, is 1,000,000 times more that hana'ah that you think of. By the way, more than 1,000,000 times more. More than 1,000,000 times. You do a mitzvah. You're going to get the greatest pleasure that you can think of in this world, times it by 1,000,000, without exaggeration, is for sure more than that. You'll get that pleasure of it much more in Gan Eden. Much more. And they say tzaddikim, Hashem has to give you an extra energy in order to survive the pleasure, otherwise you would die. Because it's too much pleasure. The body, the neshama, can't handle the pleasure. Hashem gives you a booster that you can handle the pleasure because it's so much pleasure. And therefore I tell you, okay, yes, the highest level of that. And that's on Hashem. Hashem, in the beginning, I don't want any ulterior motives. But Hashem wants you to get schar. So it's like you have to really hear this class again to understand the chap we're saying over here. Again, Moshe Rabbeinu, he wants the schar, not because he wants the schar. He wants the schar because he knows Hashem wants him to get the schar. So he's doing L'Shem Shamayim. He's doing L'Shem Shamayim. Hashem wants you to get schar. At the time, you're right. That's his ratzon. Don't get fooled. Again, you're doing the mitzvah. I don't want anything. But Hashem, you want me to get schar, so I'm doing it. So the Shamayim, they can give me more schar because I know you want to give me that. Wow, you're fulfilling ratzon Hashem. You're fulfilling ratzon Hashem. Don't forget, every mitzvah that you do, the reward is tremendous. Go strong. Do every mitzvah that you can. Grab. I always say a mashal. I love this mashal. Like, you're in a glass box. You're in a full glass box. And you have like hundreds of dollars of bills. And it's in the glass box. And you have like what's it called? A fan. Oh, and it's blowing. And you have 60 seconds. I know $100 is little nowadays, right? That's what you think. Kadash is like 100. What's $100? You know? No, but Kadash, yeah. Imagine you have checks. Imagine you have checks for $1 million each check. You have 60 seconds. Checks are fanning around. $1 million. And people are looking at you. And they don't know that the check is $1 million. But all they know it's like a piece of paper. But you know. 60 seconds. And people are laughing at you in the 60 seconds. What are you doing running after paper? What are you doing running after paper? What are you doing? You're like, $1 million, 2 million, 3 million. You'll never stop. And you don't care what people think. This world, it's like the check. Every mitzvah, it's not 1 million. It's like 100 million. More than that. You gotta make sure you grab onto every single mitzvah that you can. Zikui Rabim. Mezakeh Rabim out to the public. Boom. Do this, do that. Grab his mitzvot. And like that, you know what? You're holding checks with you. $100 million checks is in your pocket. And after 120, After 120, when you meet Hashem, when they bury the guy, he's taking all the checks with him. He goes to Hashem. He cashes them. Boom, 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 boom. And then you live for eternity. Forever with that. Don't forget. Go strong. Grab as many mitzvot as you possibly can with the time that you have on this world. What's quasi?
Like the whole Moshe situation.
I know. That's the
before you do it, then